Hello everyone, Absent Friend here, and today we're coming at you with another advanced guide for Disney Villainous. Today, we'll be looking at Dr. Facilier. So grab your voodoo powder, let's head onto the game table and check it out. Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell to be alerted when new episodes are available. And here we are back at the game table with Dr. Facilier, or as he's better known to me as the Voodoo Man. Okay, so how do we win with him? What are some advanced strategies? Well, there's some good combos that he can do, and I'll show you how you can make those happen. And so let's do it. First of all, let's talk about this card for a second. Friends on the other side. That card is very deceptive. You think, oh, I need that quick power real fast, but then it goes right into your fortune pile, and he has quite a few of these, so you might don't get too bogged down with it. One, maybe two, but that's it. You don't want to clog up this deck any more than you have to. So really just, I mean, he can lose all of his power gainings up here if your faders are aggressive. The only place you can get power there. So if that's the case, then maybe you ought to. But I can show you a way how to clean out that fortune pile several ways, but there's a really cool way that you can do it that you don't have to worry about on conditions or other things to help you out, okay? So we're just going to keep that there for now, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so let's say we did it again. There's another one. And let's just put them all in there. Where's the other one? There's one. Okay. All right, so let's talk about a combo. First thing to do this combo, you must have, oh, I just saw it, where'd it go? This guy. You must have the cane. And I always play the cane here, so I can play actions here and here. So you have to hope that this is covered up, all right? If you don't, then who knows, okay? So try to keep this space open as much as possible. One way that you can do that without having to vanquish or waste your villains, or waste your allies, I should say, is playing the voodoo dolls. Because the voodoo dolls, you don't really vanquish with them. I don't. You move heroes. Let's say we have a hero. Let's say she's covering it up, and all you got to do is to go. You can just go right here, or you can be here with the cane and use this action to move with the voodoo off that spot. Okay, Tiana's place is probably a good place to be, unless you need a discard. But even still, you can just discard there. It's not at the end of the world. So use the voodoo dolls to move your heroes around. Now let's say they replace it with another hero. Can the voodoo dolls still move them? Absolutely. If the voodoo dolls move to the right, the heroes move to the right. If the voodoo dolls move to the left, the hero moves to the left. It does not matter what location they're in. They don't have to be in the same location. So remember that voodoo dolls are very, very more powerful than I originally thought. So use them to get people off of these spots, okay? All right, so, and then of course, I'm sure your Fators are gonna see what you're doing and try to get rid of them, probably end up putting them in there. If they're smart, that's exactly what they're gonna do. All right, let's talk about these guys for a second. Where'd they go? These masked spirits. Do not keep them in your discard pile or keep them in your hand. Either way, they do not need to be in here. Keep them out of here as much as possible. If you get them, I mean, the only way they're going to get in there, if you follow this strategy, the only way that they're going to get in there is if they get them out of the deck. Oh, and faders, I'll show you what I mean in a second. All right, but let's say you need to vanquish somebody. Let's say somebody has, let's say it's Big Daddy. Wait, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Well, it won't work perfectly, but let's say it's not Big Daddy. Let's say it's, let's say it's Juju. Juju has been played, and he's probably going to remove the cane if the cane is out, so just be careful about that. And he also stole the talisman. Okay? So, in the turn where you can vanquish, don't play it and then hope for the best. Don't. Only play and vanquish immediately. So get to the Voodoo Emporium. You can do this even if they're covered. Get to the Voodoo Voodoo Emporium, play the Mass Spirits, and vanquish immediately. So that way they go right into your discard pile, and you get your talisman back. Okay? So, Mass Spirits can be used as vanquishers, but only in that turn. If you play them and leave them out, it's your funeral. Don't do it. I promise you will not like it. If they go into your hand and you don't see them being used at any time, just flush them. Get them into the discard pile, and that way they don't end up in your fortune pile. This guy, he's good for whenever you have the talisman out, or you're about to put the talisman out, go ahead and put Lawrence down, because anytime a hero is played, no matter who it is, he follows them, and he can take out any of the heroes that can steal the talisman, because he's 3. So he's good to keep around. Hopefully the villains, or the Fators, they'll be wanting to play heroes to get your talisman before they'll play the cards that have you discard allies. So we'll see. But Franklin is good for that. Another really good ally that is not used very much is this guy. I love playing the Shadow Man. He's very expensive, but I love playing him, and I'll tell you why. So I always play him to whatever location I'm in. I try to take him in the bayou so I can gain the power and just play him immediately so I don't lose power. And then wherever I go, he goes. Every turn. Until I need him to vanquish. So if I need him to vanquish somebody here, let's say, then I'll go here, and then the next turn go here, and boom. He can take out everybody, I believe, except Louis, I should say. But that's okay. Louis is an okay thing. And you can also use other cards to help out with him, but he can pretty much vanquish any villain, especially ones that take your talisman, if Lawrence is not around. Okay? Alright, so that's really how to use your allies to your advantage. Now let's talk about how to do this combo I was telling you about. Okay, so let's say, where's my Rule New Orleans? If you get Rule New Orleans, play it immediately. Put it right here, and don't wait, don't hold on to it, or anything else. It's just going to clog your hand. Just get it here, because once it's here, all you got to do is find that talisman. And you want to cycle your deck to get to that talisman quickly. So all that stuff I just said before, I would go ahead and play a voodoo doll if you have one, because they're not that expensive. But that's it, pretty much. Don't bother with shadow spirits. They're a waste of time. They're a waste of power, waste of space, if you ask me. Play conditions if necessary. This is good, I guess, if you played them here, because a lot of heroes are probably going to be played at the parade. So that's one good way to get rid of your fortune pile. But again, or it's clean out your fortune pile, but again, it's very chancy. I'll show you a guaranteed way on how to do it here in a second, so don't worry. But let's talk about how to win. Okay, so where's that blasted talisman? There it is. Okay, so I'm at the cane. I have the the cards will tell in my hand. I have a few others, but I play the talisman. That's my first card. Okay. And then with the cane, I can use, this is why you need to keep the space free. I can use this card action right here to play the cards will tell and hopefully win the game. So that's why you can get a 2-card play action at the Voodoo Emporium, and you can hold on to the talisman until you're ready to do this and then play it. Now, if you get the talisman early and they're Rule New Orleans, let's say it's at the very bottom of the deck, go ahead and put the talisman out. And I'll tell you why. You might think, well, wait a while, I just want to hold on to it. Well, that's not a good idea, because it's going to clog your hand. And the more cards that are in your hand, the less likely you are to get to your other objective card quickly. You want to get to it quickly. So go ahead and put it out there and let the Fators panic and start playing heroes on you to get that talisman away from you. And then you can do Lawrence and those other cards I was telling you about to get that talisman right back and just keep vanquishing and doing things. And this space has a fate action, so keep that uncovered, hopefully, and keep fading them back, you know, until you can get your, until you get that thing discarded and back. So you can also discard and fade at that place too. So you can keep the opponents busy. So having the talisman out early is not a bad thing. So don't fear. I only showed you that combo because let's say Rule of New Orleans came out early. You play that immediately. It's going to stay in here forever. It's never going to go anywhere. And you get that cane out, and then all you gotta do is just hold on the talisman until you're ready to strike, as it were. Now, let's say you don't have the talisman, or maybe the talisman's been stolen, and let's say you have a ton of stuff, hopefully not masked spirits. Let's say that. Voodoo dolls, let's just say, I mean, there's all kinds of crap that they can put in your fortune pile. Alright? Oh, by the way, sleight of hand, always play that. That cycles the deck really, really fast. Just play it every time you get it. It's a perfect way to cycle your deck and get what you want. Let's say you have a huge fortune pile. Okay, so we play, we don't have the talisman yet, but we can still play this card. This card does not say we have to have the talisman to play it. And if you have the cane, you can possibly do it twice. So, you play the cards will tell. If New Orleans is in here or if it's not in there, it's okay, it doesn't matter. I'll show you what will happen. So, you'll shuffle the cards. Plus, that friends on the other side, this is where the positive side of having these in your fortune pile. Okay? Alright. And then we fan out the cards, and another player will pick 3. Let's just for fun say that they pick these 3. Let's set these aside and let's see what we got here. Alright, so I get to use that card's fortune ability, and I get to use that card's fortune ability. And this just goes in the discard pile. So this goes in the discard pile, and this goes right there, which is where he's at anyway. So he can just start moving with Shadow Man all over the place. Okay? So, there you go. And that got rid of 3 cards from your fortune pile. And let's say the cane is there and you want to play it again. So you have a second, the cards will tell. Play it again. Why not? I think he has 3 copies of that. So... but you can always get it back. There's an effect that lets you get cards out of your discard pile, I believe. Make sure that's right. I think it's Terror. Yeah, choose an ally or an effect from your discard pile and put it in your hand. So that's how you get the effect back if you're playing against, well, pretty much anybody. It gains 3 more power. This is a very powerful card, very powerful condition. Most players will be gaining 3 or more power at some point. So anyway, so let's say we play the cards will tell again, and we clean out this fortune pile. Once again, as long as the talisman is not on this side, doesn't matter. Even if it is on your side and Royal New Orleans is not in there, nothing will happen, except you'll clean out your fortune pile. So once again, they pick 3 cards. Let's say they pick these 3 right here. Look at that. So these get discarded. You can get them back with that condition. And you get 4 power right there. And they go in your discard pile. And now our fortune pile is down to this many cards. Okay? And so I would say once you got it down to about 5, 6 or less, but 5 or less, not 6 or less, 5 or less, then go ahead and get your talisman ready and start trying to win the game. Okay? But that's a good, fun way to clean out your fortune pile. And it's guaranteed. You don't have to wait for conditions or anything else. And it cuts out 3 cards in one go. Whether they get played on your side or whether they go in the discard pile, they will not return to the fortune pile. The only one that will return to the fortune pile is this card. Because if you control the talisman, you win. If you don't control the talisman, it just goes right back into your fortune pile. So that's why I was saying, even if this is in there and you don't have the talisman, it won't go away. It stays in your fortune pile forever. It cannot be removed, except Big Daddy can remove it. I forgot about him. So Big Daddy can remove it. So be careful. When you do play it early, just be careful that Big Daddy can do that. Now, speaking of Big Daddy, Fators. Let's talk about you for a second. So I already mentioned Big Daddy. So play him, especially if Royal New Orleans is in that fortune pile. Get him out. Get it out. If it's not, don't worry about Big Daddy. Unless you need to steal the talisman. Juju is perfect for getting rid of that cane. Get rid of that cane with Juju. Okay? So play him whenever he can get rid of the cane. If not, skip him. Mama Odie is great at all times. Keep her out as much as possible. Okay? Louie is also good. Play him at the Voodoo Emporium because he will have to do this. If he wants to try to win the game, he has to come here and do this anyway. Hopefully he won't move him. But if he's out in the realm, at least he has to think twice about it. Other heroes, these guys are just kind of So this one's good just to make his cards more expensive to play. keep his power low. But he does have quite a few heroes that can. Oh, there's that one's also good because you can play 2 at once. Okay, so as far as the heroes goes, they're all pretty situational. You know, she's weak and he's weak. But I mean, unless you need to strategically move heroes, I mean, I guess it just depends on the situation. But covering actions is a good idea, and keep Mama Ode out as long as possible. And Ray, of course, lets you play both. Now, let me tell you what you do need to focus on: this one and this one, and he has 3 copies of each. Okay, so play these as much as possible. Anytime he has an ally in his realm, put it in the fortune pile, especially that Lawrence, the voodoo dolls, or even if he's stupid enough to put the masked spirits out there, or the Shadow Man, or the Shadow Spirits, any of them, just get them into that fortune pile, clog it up. As far as almost there, and the other hero that lets you do that, Charlotte, she lets you do the same thing. Clog up that fortune pile with everything that you can throw in there. Don't worry about strategy, don't worry about anything except only if the card says cannot be played in the fortune pile, put it in the fortune pile. Okay, because even though he can flush it out, it's going to cost some turns and it's going to cost some power to do it. So that's really the best way to fate Dr. Facilier. Keep his spaces covered, use the hero's abilities more than their strengths, and get that fate deck, get that fortune pile clogged, and keep it clogged the entire game. Okay? All right. So that's pretty much all that I can think of for Dr. Facilier. There might be a few others that I may have neglected. So if there are any out there that you can think of that that I may have missed or that you like to play, please let me know in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're building up those subscribers, and I really love seeing that number go up and up and up, and how much you guys really love this content and want to see more stuff. If we can get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to start a brand new type of video channel. Not a channel, but a subset of videos. It's all going to be on this channel. But I'll save that for whenever we get closer to the 1,000 and let you guys know what it's going to be, okay? But I think you guys might enjoy it. So, again, if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. It's free. It costs you nothing. And you can ring the bell for notifications, or if you don't like notifications, you don't have to. But subscribing and liking my videos really, really helps me out and lets me know that you guys want to see more of these. So take care out there, and we'll be back next time with the Evil Queen. So take care. This is your absent friend, signing off.